Welcome to BackToKidAgain.com. On our channel, we take you back to the magical world of your childhood, where you can once again meet legendary characters such as Chàm, Chàm, and many others. Before watching the video, we kindly invite you to support our channel. As sponsor, Mr. Calvin Ha Phan, a licensed life insurance specialist. Are you looking for a solid financial protection solution for your family and future? Let Calvin Ha Phan, a life insurance expert with many years of experience, help you find the most suitable protection plan. He provides dedicated and professional consultations for all ages and supports life insurance policy setup across all 50 U.S. states. Calvin Ha Phan has life insurance licenses: California Life Insurance License Number 0K94959, Texas Life Insurance License Number 3062871, Louisiana Life Insurance License Number 1205937. Call now at 71-325-34509 for a free consultation.
Lat Doi turning life upside down. Turning life upside down wasn't his real name. No one knew his real name. They only knew that he had exposed many injustices in life, so people called him Turning Life Upside Down. One day, after the rice harvest was finished, Turning Life Upside Down asked to work for a wealthy landowner with vast fields at the foot of Mount Tao Pho Rong. This man was notoriously wicked and oppressed the poor. When he saw Turning Life Upside Down approaching, he immediately cursed, "Hey you! The harvest is over! What are you doing coming to my house? Are you planning to come and freeload off me?" Turning Life Upside Down replied, "Sir, after this season comes the next. I know how to do many things. I will do whatever you ask: plowing, tending horses, cooking." Seeing that Turning Life Upside Down was strong, he hired him to tend the horses. After the rice harvest, the rich man called in carpenters to build him a cart. When the cart was finished, he slaughtered buffaloes, goats, and chickens to celebrate. Turning Life Upside Down was sent to the neighboring village to invite another wealthy man to the feast. Upon arriving, Turning Life Upside Down unexpectedly found his master's wife having an affair with the man he was supposed to invite. After the mistress left, Turning Life Upside Down told the other man, "Hey, you're sleeping with my master's wife. My master is about to come over with a chisel to beat you." Meanwhile, the feast was ready, and the rich man impatiently waited for his guest. Turning Life Upside Down returned and said, "Sir, the man over there is also building a cart, a much better and more beautiful cart than ours, but the 2 wheels aren't finished yet. He wants to invite you over to borrow a chisel to finish the wheels." Hearing that the other man's cart was better, the rich man became jealous. He grabbed a chisel and ran over, cursing as he went. "This is like you're shitting on my face. You don't respect me at all." The cart owner on the other side, having just heard the shocking news from Lat Doi, now heard the rich man shouting and cursing loudly. Terrified, he jumped over the fence and ran away. The rich man saw his friend running, not knowing what was happening, and chased after him, calling out until the other man's figure disappeared into the forest. When the rich man left the house with the chisel, Lat Doi told his wife, "You've been sleeping with the master over there. Your husband knows about it. He's going to kill that man first and then come back to kill you." The rich man's wife, hearing what Lat Doi said, was terrified and quickly left the house and ran away. As soon as the rich man returned home, Lat Doi said again, "Knowing that you've been sleeping around with women in the house, someone has filed a complaint with the magistrate. The magistrate is coming to arrest you. Your wife is leading the magistrate to find you." Hearing this, the rich man quickly threw away the chisel he was holding and ran away. Lat Doi then called all the people in the rich man's house together, distributed the buffaloes, goats, horses, and pigs to them, and then packed his bags and left. Along the way, Lat Doi met the rich man's wife, and he pretended to be shocked. "Oh no, don't you want to be able to return to your ancestors when you die? Sleeping with another man is a great sin. You must shave your head and mourn, so that your ancestors will accept you when you die?" The rich man's wife thought Lat Doi was right and shaved her head in mourning. Lat Doi also met the rich man and advised him to shave his head in mourning to avoid punishment. After the rich man had his head shaved, he asked him, "Where has your unfaithful wife gone? Do you want to marry another woman? I'll go and propose for you." The rich man complained to him, "My house and fields are all gone. My head is bald like this. Who would still want to marry me?" "Oh, a round pot fits a round lid. A crooked pot fits a crooked lid. There's nothing to worry about. Just agree. Someone will marry you. I've already told them." Knowing his situation was hopeless, the rich man nodded. One dark night, Lat Doi led him to meet his former wife, and then he went to stay at the house of a shaman. On the day of the ghost worship festival, people from the surrounding area chose the fattest chickens, carried the best baskets of rice, and flocked to the temple. The ghost temple was built on the mountaintop, covered with moss, termite mounds, and overgrown with grass. Yet in just a short time, the ground was worn smooth by people's feet, and the grass was trampled flat and dry like a rice field in summer. People set up tents, erected shelters, blew horns, and played the luku instrument. The luku is a type of instrument used by the Chàm people during rituals, and beat drums. Women and girls competed to pound rice until it was very fine, making chakum cakes. Chakum is a type of cake made from rice flour. They cut delicious taro to cook cha dai soup. Cha dai is a dish made with taro. When it was time to bring the bells, wooden fish, and amulets to the temple, the shaman called Lat Doi and said, "You lead the horse for me to ride to the temple along the straightest path." Lat Doi did as he was told. The shaman sat comfortably on the horse's back, his hands still holding the bulging bags hanging around him. After traveling quite a distance, the shaman's eyes were already half closed. In front of them was a wide ditch. Lat Doi thought to himself, "Let's give the sorcerer a little bath." Reaching the edge of the ditch, Lat Doi lightly jumped to the other side, and the horse followed. Splash! Having dozed off and lost his balance, the sorcerer tumbled headfirst into the ditch. As soon as he surfaced, he glared and cursed loudly. Lat Doi said, "Sir, this is the shortest path." Furious but unable to argue, he made peace with Lat Doi and asked him to help remove his sorcerer's armor. He walked on foot, while the bells, gongs, and robes were loaded onto the horse's back. After walking a little further, the sorcerer turned around and suddenly jumped in surprise. The bells and gongs were gone, having fallen off at some point. Having lost his tools of the trade, the sorcerer was stunned, like someone who had lost his soul. He told Lat Doi, "Get on the horse and go. Try not to drop anything." Lat Doi calmly sat on the horse's back, and the shaman busily led the horse. The further they went, the faster Lat Doi urged the horse to run, and the shaman couldn't keep up, so he had to tell Lat Doi to get off the horse. He still didn't forget to remind him, "Walk behind me, and if you see anything fall, pick it up." The horse, having eaten its fill and traveled a long distance, defecated more and more as they got closer to their destination. Lat Doi picked up all the horse manure and put it in his cloth. Approaching the temple, the shaman adjusted his clothes and arrogantly walked in. People made way for the shaman to go straight to the main altar. Around the altar, people were crowded together. The shaman was about to bow to the ancestors. Lat Doi pushed through the crowd and placed a large package in front of the altar. Thinking that Lat Doi had found the bells and gongs and was now presenting them, the shaman excitedly opened the package. Horse manure was revealed in the middle of the altar, causing everyone to shout in uproar. "Ngiti, dang, panloi, eh. The Chàm language means heaven, earth, people, sea, shit. The people covered their noses and gradually moved away. The shaman's face turned red with embarrassment, and he looked for a way to escape through the back. Lat Doi had already mounted his horse and left without anyone noticing. Wandering along the road, Lat Doi heard that there was a shaman of heaven nearby, so he went to him and asked to stay there. The shaman of heaven pretended to be pure, but he was very fond of flattery. His house was full of honey in jars and flour in baskets, but he rarely dared to eat them. He only saved them to treat officials to gain a good reputation. His tobacco garden was also large, but he rarely dared to harvest it, only saving it to give to officials. One day, the shaman called Lat Doi out and gave him a task. "You must look after the tobacco garden. You are forbidden to let dogs defecate there. If there is dog shit, I will punish you by making you eat it." Lat Doi bowed his head and agreed. He secretly laughed to himself. "We'll see who has to eat dog shit." As soon as the shaman of heaven left the house, Lat Doi mixed flour with honey, rolled it into small balls, and scattered them all over the garden. When the shaman was about to return home, Lat Doi quickly ran to the garden, picked up the honey flour balls, and ate them while brushing them off. The shaman saw that the house was deserted, cleared his throat, and called out, "Where is Lat Doi?" "Yes, master, I'm here." The old shaman looked out and shouted, "What are you eating, you rascal?" "Begging your pardon, master, it's dog shit. The dog shit from our house is delicious." The shaman ran to the garden, took a few balls, and put them in his mouth to try. "Ah, it's really delicious. Go and catch the dog and lock it up for me, quickly." Lat Doi went and caught the dog, locked it up, and fed it a belly full of pig feed. The sorcerer gleefully picked up a few more pieces of dog poop, mixed with honey, then went to show them to the provincial governor. "Your Excellency, I have a strange gift. Please accept it and try it." The sorcerer placed the dog poop pieces on the table. The gluttonous governor immediately put them in his mouth. It's edible. What is this delicious thing?" The sorcerer stammered. The governor urged, "I give you permission. Just tell me, what is this delicious dish?" "Your Excellency, yes, it's dog poop." "Dog poop? Is that true?" "Yes, Your Excellency, it's my dog's poop. If you don't believe me, you can come and see. I keep it locked up at home." "Well, if that's the case, then it's truly a blessing from heaven for your family." "Yes, Your Excellency, it's truly thanks to heaven's blessing, and thanks to your grace." "All right, go home. Tomorrow I and the other officials will come to your house for a meal." The sorcerer hurried home. He invited all the village elders and notables to attend. He collected more dog and pig poop from his neighbors, filling 10 jars. On the top layer, he sprinkled a few layers of powder. The sorcerer's house was bustling like a big festival. The most beautiful mats were spread out, and the finest bowls and spoons were brought out for the feast. Before the sun had risen very high, the high-ranking and low-ranking officials arrived in droves, wearing black turbans and long robes. The sorcerer humbly greeted each one at the gate. Soon, the officials, elders, and notables filled the house, sitting on 2 rows of mats. The guests and host exchanged courtesies, and finally the highest-ranking official had to open the meal. The official scooped a spoonful into his mouth, and the lower-ranking officials and the elders and notables also hastily put it into their mouths. They filled their mouths only to realize that it wasn't delicious or fragrant. After that battle, Lat Doi fled to another place, a densely populated area where houses were built close together. There were always wealthy and influential young men roaming the streets. They harassed girls, threatened children, and bullied old women. They had plenty of money, but when they went to the taverns, they would dine and dash, taking whatever cups and bowls they liked and hiding them in their sleeves. The tavern owners knew, but could do nothing. Seeing this offensive behavior, Lat Doi decided to teach these sons of officials a lesson. He opened a tavern, selling all kinds of wine and meat. His wine was better, and his meat was more delicious. Every day, the sons of officials crowded into his tavern. They ate and drank until they were drunk, vomiting all over the place, then rolling around and sleeping. After sleeping, they would wake up and eat again. Following their old habits, many of them refused to pay after their meals. Lat Doi's tavern had many distinguished guests, but his capital was quickly depleted. Using the last of his money, Lat Doi bought jars carrying poles and baskets. After acquiring these things, he went around the streets, meeting the sons of officials and inviting them. "Tomorrow morning, my tavern will have delicious glutinous rice wine and rare goat meat." The sons of officials challenged each other, daring each other to go to Lat Doi's tavern the next morning to compete in a drinking contest. That night, Lat Doi collected urine and human feces, put them in jars, and then gathered small and large stones, putting them in buckets and hanging them from the rafters. At the point where the ropes met, he hung a bundle of roasted meat and a jar of wine. On the ground, he strung ropes horizontally and vertically like a spider web. Early in the morning, before the sun rose, the officials' sons gathered in front of the shop, waiting to drink and eat. Today, they were all dressed better than usual. Many even brought bottles and baskets, ready to take the meat and wine home. But the sun was already high in the sky, and the shop was still not open. The aroma of goat meat and rice wine wafted out, smelling delicious. Many gluttonous and thirsty men, smelling the meat and wine, swallowed their saliva greedily. Seeing that more and more officials' sons were arriving, and fearing they would miss out, the ones who arrived first pried open the door. The shop was deserted. The gluttonous men rushed in, scrambling to search and rummage around. Suddenly, they saw the jar of wine and the string of meat, and they crowded around to pull them down. Some quickly climbed onto the rafters. Those who couldn't get a share fumbled around, looking for sticks to poke at the jars. The quick-handed ones quickly snatched the string of roasted meat. As the ropes came loose, jars of urine and feces and buckets of ice fell, splashing onto the heads and necks of the officials' sons. Like a disturbed beehive, they trampled on each other, running for their lives. After giving the officials' sons a shocking lesson, Lat Doi went to another place and got married. Lat Doi's wife was the spitting image of her mother. Near Lat Doi's mother-in-law's house lived a court official. This man had always been very cruel, and everyone in the surrounding area feared him. He had no children, so he and his wife went to pray for a child. One hot summer afternoon, the two of them went to the temple. The court official carried a golden cane to show off his wealth and status to everyone. Seeing his shirt drenched in sweat, Lat Doi thought to himself, "I must find a way to teach this wicked man a lesson." After discussing it with his wife, Lat Doi ran out into the street and respectfully invited the official and his wife into their house. "Sir, the road is long and the weather is hot. Please come into my house to rest and have some water to relieve your fatigue." The official and his wife entered Lat Doi's house. Lat Doi urged his wife to prepare betel nut and tea. In front of the official, Lat Doi's wife was clumsy, the betel nut was too salty, and the tea was spilled. Fearing that she had offended the official, Lat Doi took a stick and hit his wife twice on the buttocks and scolded her, "You're as slow as a 90-year-old woman. I'll give you 2 blows to transform you into something else." Lat Doi's wife cried out and ran into the house. After a while, her mother brought out betel nut and tea. Seeing the old woman, the official and his wife were astonished. "Ah, how did she get so old so quickly?" "Sir, it's nothing. It's just my magic stick that makes her age quickly." Seeing his mother-in-law still standing timidly, Lat Doi hit her twice with the stick. "Ah, this old woman is good at serving the official. Now I'll make her young again." His mother-in-law cried out and ran into the inner room. A moment later, Lat Doi's wife came out again. Seeing Lat Doi's wife, the official and his wife were even more surprised. "Oh, what a precious stick! How can it transform an old person into a young one?" Lat Doi added, "Sir, that's all there is to it. It can make someone old or young as desired." Being greedy, the official glanced at his wife and whispered, "We must get this stick, dear." The official's wife quietly said to her husband, "That's right. We need to become young again so we can enjoy life to the fullest." The courtier, who was plotting to steal the magic staff, was urged on by his impatient wife. "Come on, exchange your staff for his. We have enough resources to forge another staff." The courtier nodded, turned to Lat Doi and said, "Hey, let's exchange staffs. Your staff is made of wood, my staff is made of gold. I pity your poor family, so I'll exchange with you." Before he finished speaking, the courtier snatched Lat Doi's wooden staff, then led his wife away. Along the way, he gleefully said to his wife, "This time, my wife and I will live to a ripe old age. Old age and death will never dare to come near us again." Upon arriving home, the courtier used all his strength to swing the staff and hit his wife on the head, shouting as he struck, "Rejuvenation! Rejuvenation!" His wife was struck on the head and fell to the ground, groaning and moaning. Eager to have a young wife quickly, he repeatedly struck her back and buttocks. She lay unconscious. He dragged her into the room, leaving her there to rejuvenate. She had stopped breathing, but he didn't know it. He loudly called his servant in, gave the staff to the servant, and said, "I give you permission to hit me. Hit me hard so I can become young again." Thinking his master had gone mad, the soldier held the staff and slowly backed away. The courtier impatiently shouted, "You fool! Don't you know that the staff you're holding is a magic staff that can rejuvenate? Just hit me as I told you. Hit me quickly, hit me hard. I will reward you." Only then did they understand that the soldier had struck the official directly on the head with his stick. With the first blow, the old man collapsed. The soldier gave him a few more blows. He stopped moving. In a panic, the soldier threw away the stick and fled. For 3 years now, the princess had been seriously ill. The king summoned all the best shamans and sorcerers in the country to treat her, but the princess did not recover. People said it was because of the king's greed that heaven was punishing him. The king was the head of the country, and also the person with the most debts in the country. For every tael of silver the king borrowed, he had to repay 3 or 7 times that amount the following year, so he constantly had to build new warehouses to store all the silver. Throughout the country, there were fields belonging to the king, buffaloes belonging to the king, and the most beautiful girls had to be offered to the king. The news that the king had summoned healers to treat the princess reached Lat Doi. He told his mother and wife, "I'm about to collect debts for everyone." The temple of the royal family was built in the middle of a large field, shaded by large trees, surrounded by a large river and pond, and carefully guarded by soldiers. Lat Doi dug an underground tunnel from the riverbank straight into the middle of the temple and carved a small hole into the altar. After finishing, Lat Doi dressed neatly and asked to enter the palace to examine the princess's illness. He also offered sacrifices to heaven and cast lots. The king anxiously awaited news of his daughter's condition. Lat Doi reported, "Your Majesty, if you owe a debt, you must pay it. Only when the debt is paid will the soul be freed, and the princess's illness will lessen." "A debt? Who do I owe a debt to?" "Your Majesty, according to the divination, your Majesty still owes a great deal." The king was startled and exclaimed, "Did you misinterpret the divination?" "I am the king, the son of heaven, holding the fate of the world in my hands, so whom do I owe anything to?" "Your Majesty, you are the ruler of the world, but are you sure that your ancestors from 9 generations ago didn't incur any debts?" The king was startled and asked hesitantly, "If so, how can I find out?" "To find out, you must go to the temple and perform a ritual to pray to your ancestors." The king agreed to go to the temple to summon the spirits of his ancestors. The day before, Lat Doi took his mother to the riverbank and through a secret passage into the temple. Then he told his wife to carry a basket of candles back and forth in front of the king's palace. When the king came to pray to his ancestors, Lat Doi's mother, hiding in a cave dug under the altar, shouted loudly, "If you owe a debt, you must pay it back. Once the debt is paid, the illness will be cured." The king heard this and felt a chill down his spine, breaking out in a cold sweat. He quickly ordered his officials to go and pray for forgiveness. As soon as the official cautiously stepped in, Lat Doi's mother shouted again, "Go and pay the debt immediately. If you delay, the princess will have to follow me to the underworld." The king tried to calm himself and asked the spirits to reveal who the lender was. Immediately, the voice from under the altar rang out again. The lender is a girl who sells candles in front of the king's palace. The amount of silver owed to her is equal to a basket of candles, not including 7 generations of interest. The laws of the underworld are the same as those of the mortal world. For every candle, 2 must be returned each year. Fearing his daughter's death, the king hurriedly returned to the palace to settle the debt. He ordered all the silver in the treasury to be given to Lat Doi's wife, the one carrying the basket of candles. On market day, she gave a few candles to everyone who passed by. The silver in the treasury was depleted, but the princess was not yet cured. The king summoned Lat Doi to the court and asked him. Lat Doi consulted the oracle and reported, "Your Majesty, the debt has not yet been fully repaid. The spirits must have given the wrong information earlier. Having owed the candle seller, he surely owed many others as well." The king thought of the long-standing debts and panicked, quickly issuing a decree to forgive all debts for the people, regardless of the amount. From then on, people no longer had to pay their debts to the king. But the princess was still not cured. The Minister of Justice then reported, "Your Majesty has only forgiven the debts of the living. Now Your Majesty should abolish all taxes so that the souls of the dead can rest in peace, and the princess will be cured immediately." The end. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit like to support me, share the video to spread great stories, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest videos. Remember to click the notification bell to get updates as soon as a new video is released. Come back to the channel often so we can explore more fascinating stories together. See you in the next video.